Hey guys, Dave Syvertsen back from Ourlads Scouting. We are going to dive in to our final top 5 tight ends. This is a consensus stack from our staff at Ourlads Scouting Services. If you want the full tight end stack and all of the analysis, order the Ourlads draft guide at ourlads.com, both PDF format and hard copy. We're going to start off with everyone's tight end one, everyone's favorite. This is Brock Bowers from Georgia, 6'3", 241. Since he stepped foot on the field for the Bulldogs in 2021, he's been arguably the best tight end in the country. He scored 13 touchdowns as a true freshman. He has scored 31 touchdowns over his entire career. He has averaged 8.5 yards after the catch per reception. He had led the nation in that category all 3 years, respectively. He can line up anywhere. He can do a ton after the catch. His hands are both strong and soft, and he's snappy after the catch. He knows exactly where to go. He's got a great feel for the defense after the catch, and that's what makes him such a dangerous weapon. And this is not a receiving-only threat. He's got a lot of gamer in him. He's tough. He's got a lot of desire and want to as a blocker. There's more to him than just a receiving threat, but make no mistake, this kid's going to be a top 15 pick because of what he can do to a team's passing game. Coming in at number 2 is Ben Sinnott, the former walk-on, the former 205-pound walk-on at Kansas State that had a hockey future, and he just last second decided to play football at Kansas State. He ends up as arguably the top athlete at the position. He absolutely blew up his workout across the board. Size, speed, agility, explosion. But what I like most about his game is the ability to go up and get it in traffic. His contested catch rate is one of the best in the class, and he too is also a threat after the catch, and he, just like Bowers, can line up anywhere. He actually won the nation's Fullback of the Year award, and it just goes to show how much he can do for a team that likes to move their tight ends around, and he's just scratching the surface of what he can become at the next level. Coming in at number 3 is Jatavian Sanders from Texas. The former 5-star freak athlete showed up to Texas, and they were not quite sure if they were going to use him at outside linebacker at tight end. They committed to tight end. It's going to pay off for him big time. This kid is one of the feistiest, most physical tight ends in the class. He actually, among the top 3, lined up with his hand in the dirt more often than any of these guys. So he can be a move tight end, but he can play with his hand in the dirt and mix up with the big boys in the trenches. What I like most about his game is the ability after the catch and what he can do in traffic. He's not the best athlete. He actually tested pretty poorly at the combine and at his pro day, but he's a guy that is open even when he's not. He has great reach, great coordination, and understands body awareness in relation to him and the defender. He can box guys out. Once he gets the ball in his hands, he is as dangerous as a threat as anyone in the class. He was right there with Brock Bowers in terms of how many yards he was getting after the catch per reception. Coming in at number 4 is the factory-made Theo Johnson, 6'6", 259, and graded out athletically as one of the top 10 tight ends of all time when all things are considered. This kid shared snaps at tight end. They have another kid coming out next year that we'll be talking about. But because of that, I don't think we really got a full glimpse of what he could do at the next level. But this is a matchup nightmare. This is a Cole Kmet type player that will line up as a classic wide tight end in line and will hold his own against blockers. But once this kid gets moving in space, he's too fast for linebackers. He's too big for defensive backs. He had a lot of success in the red zone. And this is the kind of guy that when you are 3rd and 4, 3rd and manageable, near the end zone, it's just an impossible matchup for one guy to take on by himself. In terms of ceiling, we think Theo Johnson can be one of the best tight ends in this class. Rounding out the top 5 of the Ourlads tight ends, Jared Wiley from TCU, a former quarterback prior to starting college, actually began his career at Texas, suffered a back injury, almost retired, transfers to TCU, and just absolutely blew up in that wide open passing attack. This is one of the best athletes in the class. He dropped 1 pass over his entire career. The comfortable athlete works the seam and can run routes with the best of them. He was one of the most impressive players at the Senior Bowl, and I still don't think we know exactly what he can do because of what that offense was like at TCU. You get him to a pro offense, I think he's just starting to scratch the surface of what he can be at the next level. That rounds out the Ourlads top 5 tight ends. Again, if you want more information on all these guys and more, give the Ourlads draft guide an order, the oldest in the business. We have a PDF and hard copy format. They're ready to rock, guys. Go order yours. It'll be on your doorstep next week. Thank you.